Hi everyone, I'm Lily, I'm the furniture doctor, and these are my really obnoxious loud birds that are living in my driveway, so just bear with me. But I am back with a super exciting project. I found this piece, and I'll show you in a second, on Facebook Marketplace 2 days ago for $20, or maybe it was 30. It was 20 or 30. But it's covered in black paint, and I recognized the silhouette, and I was like, is that what I think it is? So I kind of held my breath, crossed my fingers until I was able to pick it up, and sure enough, it is what I think it is. So let me show you. So here it is. If you haven't figured it out yet, it is a Lane Acclaim 2-tiered side table with some funky something on the top, but you can tell that it's an Acclaim line due to the dovetail detailing right there. Look at that. No idea what is waiting for me underneath, but there she is. So another way that I confirm that it is what it says it is, the bottom says Lane with the style number and the serial number. So it is also a pretty shoddy paint job. It looks like spray paint, which means it should be easy to come off, hopefully. So Lane Acclaim pieces are highly sought after. There's collector groups all over Facebook. People pay a lot of money for them. It has this beautiful dove detailing on the top, which I'll post a picture right here about what it's supposed to look like. It has this gorgeous contrast between the dovetail detailing and the walnut veneer. It's really pretty. It's one of my favorite lines. I have the dresser in our guest room, which I'm obsessed with. So this will be a really fun addition to my collection. If I keep it, maybe I'll sell it. I don't know yet. But anyway, highly sought after. So to get it for the price that I did, crazy. So exciting. Like, oh, Facebook Marketplace thrill. It's pretty bad. No idea what this is. Look like playing cards that were stuck there and a little heart. Structurally sound, so we have that going for us. I'm always asked why I clean first. Well, 1, to be sanitary, 2, to better see what I'm working with, and then 3, I forget 3, but yeah. That's nasty. Should probably be wearing gloves. Oops. I bet some of that is the black paint though. Yuck. After spraying the crud cutter, you can kind of see how like this turquoise paint is peeking through. So I wonder if the top was originally, not originally, but someone had painted it turquoise and then decided to go black. So we'll see. But it's only the top that has this blue turquoiseness, which, what a crime, but I'll never complain because this is job security for me. I mean, I'll complain about how annoying it is to take the paint off, but it is still job security. Now, paint stripper, I'm using this one, Max Strip Paint Varnish and Stripper. Going to take an old paintbrush and move it around. Just using my brush to get the legs, which are going to be a pain to get this paint off of, but it's okay. So it didn't really bubble the way that I thought it would. that's coming off nice. So as you can see, the dovetail looks amazing. Damage isn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be so far. I still need to strip the legs. I'm super tempted to just power wash it, but I'm not going to because that would be bad. Wipe off any of that. Let's say that helps pretty good. I wish I could just take a power washer to this nightstand. Like, ugh, the legs and the crevices and stripping paint off that, not for me. But anyway, gonna try using a carbide scraper to get most of the gunk off, and then I'll do the same thing with the mineral spirits, but it's just way easier, I feel like, to use this sometimes than the little spatula scraper thingamajig. So yeah, using a carbide scraper on the legs, and hopefully I can get it done pretty fast. So I'm sick of scraping. I'm gonna be here for like a week. So I kind of had like this light bulb moment. We're gonna see if it actually works. But if you've ever gotten a gel manicure or like any sort of manicure where your nails need to soak in acetone to like get the nail polish off, I'm gonna kind of do something like that on these legs. So I'm gonna take a shop towel and I am going to basically just like wrap it around the legs and pour lacquer thinner on it. And then, I don't know, we'll see how it works. If it doesn't work as well as it needs to, then I'll put like a like saran wrap over it just to kind of slow the evaporation of the lacquer thinner, because that does evaporate really quickly and dry. So, and then I'm going to slowly kind of pull the wet paper towel up and then use a wire brush and see if that kind of goes a little bit more smooth. Or I could probably even try steel wool. So we'll try both of those and see what works better. Hopefully this works, because I have a lot of crevices coming up on all of these little spindles and stuff. So let's try. Stuff. trying it again here. Honestly, I barely need to scrub. Which is pretty crazy. Day 3 of working on this piece. Yesterday I got most of the black paint off, lots of scraping, wiping, lacquer thinner. It was a lot. So today I am going to sand. I'm going to start with 120 grit and just kind of sand lightly, maybe see if some of these scratches buff out. There's one like right there. I don't know if that's visible. There's that gouge. So I'm going to see what I can get out by gently sanding and also get off any of the remaining stuff that I missed. The only issue is the height of my sander. It's a little too tall to get under there. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to sand underneath there effectively. I was thinking maybe a multi-tool, but sometimes that can leave like little piggly squiggly marks because it's not like a random orbital sander like this one. So, or I'm gonna have to resort to hand sanding, which is kind of hard to like keep a consistent pressure and make sure you're not getting any sort of lines or squiggles or whatever. But we'll do that. We're gonna do the top first because that's easy. So most of the paint is off. Here's a scratch. There's another one right there. This over here is where the gouge is. Under there is where I'm gonna have difficulty sanding. The top. I can't get my sander under here, I'm going to take this little zip kit I have from Gator, 120 grit, and we are going to sand in the direction of the grain. So it took a shop towel and some mineral spirits to kind of wipe down and see where we were at. Have to do more on this inside. I'm gonna hit the front here with my orbital because I can. Day 4 of working on this piece. I am now going to sand with 180 grit, working my way up. What I am going to do is take a pencil and I'm going to lightly scribble it on the piece. Now that's going to help me kind of know when I've sanded evenly once that mark is gone. There are quite a few scratches in here, and so I want to make sure that I'm sanding thoroughly and evenly, because I am able to use my orbital on the top, but I obviously can't fit it in there, so I have to hand sand in there. So I'm worried there might be like a discrepancy once I stain, but hopefully not, because we're going to sand thoroughly. Once I get this, then I'm going to start sanding the legs, which is going to be a pain, but that's okay. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. So using the little handy block 180 grit right here. Let's get started. Now I'm going to wipe it down with some mineral spirits. Let's see, get rid of the dust. So I somehow misplaced my Surf Prep sander, which I don't know how you misplace like a $500 sander, but I guess I did. It's somewhere in this garage. So that kind of makes sanding the legs a little bit harder, because what I would have used are these foam pads that go on the sander, and it just kind of like curves to the leg. So until I find that, we are going to have to use an orbital or hand sand. So I'm going to try the orbital first. So gotta find that sander. Using a little Gator micro detail zip kit thingamajig, 120 grit, and that's how I'm gonna get all in here. Okay, I think it's day 5. I'm starting to lose track. I am still sanding. I'm like hand sanding away. There are just so many little crevices with just like everything. So I just have to make sure that I get all of the paint and the previous finish and stain off. The only thing I've been having a really kind of hard time with is some of the blue paint won't come out. So you can maybe kind of tell it's like really stuck in the grain over here. It's very faint, so I might be able to just like tone it, or it might go away once I add stain, but I don't know. I don't know what to do. So I posted on my story asking how to get out this blue, and all you guys said acetone. So I have this nail polish remover that's 100% acetone, so we're gonna try it. Maybe it's working. So unfortunately, I don't think the acetone worked at all. I mean, maybe a little, but what I think I'm gonna have to do is just proceed with sanding, and then from there kind of just color correct any of these little bits, because it's just a few spots. It's not like I'm having that problem in the grain throughout the entire piece, thank goodness. but it's been like 5 days of hand sanding, so I'm ready to just like move on to stain. So I am gonna go through and just quickly sand with 220 grit. I had already worked my way up to 180, and so we'll do 220 and then get it ready to be stained. Popping on 220. So day 6, 7, something like that. I think we're pretty much finished with the piece. There are a few pretty big gouges in here. There is a few speckles of blue paint. It's not going to be perfect, and I just need to accept that instead of messing with it even further. So what I'm going to do is not stain it, because last time I stained it, I felt like it didn't have enough contrast, and that's what I really love about the Acclaim line. So what I'm going to do instead is just use some Mohawk Easy Vinyl Sealer, and I'm going to spray that, and then I might tone the dovetail detailing, and then we'll seal it. So we'll see what the color looks like after I put on the sealer, but everything was wiped down, dust was removed, so it should be good for this. Now, remembering to always wear the proper PPE, especially with this stuff, because it's super caustic, and yeah. Let's do it. Day. The vinyl sealer went on yesterday very well. Today I am going to apply a little bit of medium brown toner along these dovetail edges. I'm going to do that because the original finish doesn't have as much contrast. I do love the contrast a lot, but I'm going to try and like mute it just slightly, because there are some like right here that seems to be like a little bit darker. I'm going to do a little bit of toner, whoops, on the edges and the legs. And then from there, we will seal it up with some lacquer thinner. I'm not gonna lie, but using toner is probably my least favorite part of any restoration project, because it's so easy to be heavy-handed. And if you're heavy-handed with it, there's literally no way to just like backtrack. So it's just like really nerve-wracking, because it's like using a can of spray paint. It is literally a can of spray paint, but like obviously toner. But when you spray it, if you're too close, like you're gonna have like splotchiness, or like a more concentrated circular area, or drips, or it can spray. It's just like really nerve-wracking. So this is easily my least favorite parts. I can't talk while I spray this because I'll be wearing my mask. Basically, I'm gonna apply it with like a feathery like motion just along the edges. I'm probably going to make it really, really light, so it's like not even noticeable. And then I have to do the legs as well, so I'm not sure if I should do the legs first and then turn it over and do the top after. I'm not sure, but I'll make that decision soon. toner is on. I did all of that yesterday. I definitely could have done a better job, like I could do with most things. I'm not unhappy with how it turned out. There are definitely a few spots now I'm seeing in like the different lighting that could use a little bit more toner, but I'd rather it have less where I can add more than have way too much and then I need to start from the beginning, which is, you don't want that. And I don't want that. I don't have time for that. So what I'm gonna do today is I might just touch up a little bit with the toner and then add lacquer for the top coat. I'm gonna be using Mohawk's lacquer. I believe I'm gonna use a satin coat. I might start off with a flat coat and then satin on top because I have a lot of flat, and so I might just do that and then add the satin after for a sheen. I just kind of build up the layers, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm definitely happy with this contrast. It's not too much and it's not too little. Spraying the top was easy with the toner. The legs, it's just the legs that are just hard to get even because they're round and it's hard to do that. If only I had like a giant lazy Susan that I could just be like, bzz, 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 like, you know, like how they do with cakes, like decorating cakes. I need that, but for furniture. If you come up with that, I want credit for that idea. But anyway, let's fix the toner and add the top coat. I somehow forgot that I needed to paint these little feet black. So what I'm doing is taking some painter's tape around and what I'm gonna do is take some paintbrush and paint these little feet black again. I'm using Fusion Coal Black because that's all I really had. This stuff just spilt all over my garage floor while trying to open it. But anyway, I'm just using a foam brush. So here's where we started. The piece was covered in black paint, severely neglected. There was some blue paint on the top. It had gouges. It just was severely neglected and it needed a little bit of love. And so are you ready for the after? Here it is. So this piece I'm extremely happy with. It is restored back to what it looked like in the first place. It does have a few imperfections. Honestly, I feel like that kind of adds to the character of the piece. There are a few gouges that I wasn't able to get out. And I know I spoke in the beginning about having to do some veneer repairs, but honestly, I ended up not doing any. You can't really tell unless you're looking at the piece from the side, and that's okay. I feel like it would have been more noticeable had I were to add some epoxy putty and have to color match and do all of that. I just think this was the best fix for right now. I am going to keep this piece, and I do have a 6-month-old, so I'm sure it's going to get some wear and tear over the next few years. So if I do need to refinish it again, I can do that. And you know, if I change my mind in the future. So yeah, this another learning experience. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, drop them below. Please like, share, subscribe, anything and everything YouTube allows you to do, because that allows me to keep creating content for you guys. And if there's anything else you want to see, any specific projects, please let me know in the comments. Hopefully you're enjoying my long form. Hopefully I'm getting a little bit better at editing. I'm trying my best. It's a little crazy over here with a little guy and work and editing and projects, but we're trying to get it done. So thank you for all your patience, and I can't wait for you guys to see my next project, so stay tuned.